Welcome back, Savages. We are coming up on Halloween, so tonight we're going to be talking about a couple religions that are not very heard of. Well, you want to take it away?
Okay, so I have been doing a lot of reading in various different groups, and one that keeps coming up is Santeria. It's
makes me think of the wine, but I know that's sangria.
And it makes me think of the song.
Oh,
yeah. So
Santeria, Nina, Pinta.
No, not that one.
Oh,
that I don't practice Santeria.
Oh,
yeah,
sublime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What it actually means is way of the saints, and I don't know how that goes into what they actually practice with it, but that's what the definition of that particular word is.
Interesting.
It's based significantly in traditions of the Yoruba of West Africa, with elements of Catholicism, which is kind of unusual.
Mm-hmm.
And it's primarily started in Cuba.
Okay. So, okay. Cubans are very religious people.
They are.
They church every Sunday or Monday through Sunday. Like, even mobsters don't miss church in Cuba.
Yes. They kind of have they kind of have a few beliefs like normal everyday religions, where they believe one God created the universe and the world is cared for by lesser divine beings known as orishas. I'm not sure how to say that.
I thought it was orcas, but okay, I'm wrong. I just saw it and I was like, orca? Okay, yours probably sounds better than mine.
Yeah. Those are similar to the ancient Greek gods.
Okay, so like can't say our gods, but like how we interpret like Zeus and Persephone and all that. Okay.
So there is God who created everything, and then there's the lesser ones like Zeus, Persephone, Loki.
All of those.
Yeah, all of those. And I guess each one of those beings represent various forces of nature, along with certain human characteristics.
Like psychopaths and whatnot?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. There's a lot of good and...
yin and yang, good and evil, spirits. Okay.
I don't know. I didn't get to delve too far into all of their different deities that they have.
I mean, I can assume it's more like every type of religion or craft or something that you get into, that there are multiples depending on what you're wanting to achieve as far as like who you're praying to.
Yes, it is said that they have around 400 of the orishas in total.
Holy crap.
But only 20 of them are regularly worshipped.
Okay. So it's
kind of like angels and archangels, where there's a ton of them, but you have your base.
Yeah, you have like Saint Michael.
Gabriel.
I know Saint Michael. That's about it.
I know a lot of them, but anyways.
So yeah, Saint Michael is the one I know of that's the most forthcoming with everything.
And those deities are kind of like what we would call a spirit guide, it sounds like, because they provide their devotees with protection, wisdom, success, and they guide them in times of crisis, which is kind of what we would interpret it as a spirit guide.
Right.
They do have priests. They are called, I'm gonna butcher this one. It's called Babalaos. Yeah.
All right then.
And they act as a go-between with the deity and the worshippers. They will interpret the will of gods using divination. The ceremonies include rum, drums, cigars, and animal sacrifice.
Okay. So that kind of pushes down the path of, I don't want to say evil, because, but we all know that anytime that there is a ritualistic sacrifice, whether it's an animal or human, which we don't condone, but it happens, and not in our country, I hope.
Well, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Because this and other things are here.
Awesome. But we know that usually if you're involving some kind of sacrifice, it's never a good thing.
No, generally when there's bloodshed or an offering of blood, it's not usually for anything good.
No, it's usually, we get into the demonic parts now.
Yeah.
We get into summoning things that you shouldn't. And then you have people that, go through the possessions and the demonic nature of things of, oh, my house is haunted now, we did this. But I do know in some religions that unfortunately they do, a lot of them use like chickens or like smaller animals, chickens, snakes, lizards, because they all represent something different. But to me, I always feel like if you have to do a blood sacrifice of any kind, you're pushing the boundary of good and evil. In
a lot of the things I was reading, a lot of the stories lead to what seems like possession, because then the people will start speaking other languages or start acting out of the ordinary or do things and then they come out of it and don't remember. Right. And again, that crosses into the boundary of good and evil, pushing the limit more on being evil. Right. I guess a lot of it, too, is how you're brought up, because these people are brought up with this. That is their normal. So us not being brought up in that lifestyle, it's not normal. So they wouldn't really question it like somebody on the outside looking in would. Right. Well, it's like me, who most of my childhood had friends that attended church, and I went to a few different churches, and then as a teenager I was forced into Catholicism. And forced was not something I wanted, but I was forced into Catholicism. And then as soon as I was old enough to be like, hey, I don't believe in heaven or hell, but I do believe in something higher. I believe in, what's around me and earth, nature, and all that stuff. When I tell people, they're like, well, why do you wear a cross every day? Well, it was my mom's. My mom's gone now. I wear it because of her, but I don't practice the religion. And a lot of people see that as being hypocritical, because you wear a crucifix every day, but you don't believe in the man that's on the cross. But you don't wear it for the symbolism of what's on it. Exactly. You wear it for the symbolism of what it means to you. Yep. My great-grandmother gave it to my mom. My mom wore it every day up until the day she died, and I've worn it every day since then. I can see both sides of the spectrum of, well, if you weren't raised that way, why do you do this? Or if you were raised this way, why do you feel that way? I can see both sides. Yeah. And we're not here to say what they're doing is wrong. Right. However, in our experience, we've been to places where things have gone on and there was potentially bloodshed for said purposes. Right. And we've seen what can come of that. Yeah. That doesn't mean it will always happen, and that may not even be what they're doing in this, but it is something that can happen. Not everybody practices a religion a certain way. Right. Because I'm sure that they have this type of religion where you don't have to do sacrifices. Even in other religions, even in Catholicism, there's no actual bloodshed, but you're drinking what is representing the blood. See, my thought on that was that people just wanted to get drunk in church, and it was the only way how. Yeah. And my mom always told me I was going to hell for saying that. But I mean,
Who serves wine during church but a bunch of drunks?
Right.
That's just how I feel about it.
I went to a Catholic school, and man, them kids were happy on Sundays
Right.
to go get to drink that.
Right.
But
It's not good wine, by the way.
No,
it's really gross.
yeah. Plus, you're sharing a cup with. Ugh.
I don't do well with germs and other people. I opted out for that.
Yeah, no thanks. But even in Wicca, there's spells that use blood, and not just spells. There's different rituals or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
That use blood.
I think now, though, with a lot of the Wicca and whatnot that do involve blood things, I don't think they sacrifice.
No,
I think they...
most of it is collected in other ways.
Yes.
And we're not going to go into the other ways because...
Yeah. But it's
gross.
Yeah, but it doesn't involve sacrifices anymore. That I know of.
Yeah.
I don't know fully. I don't practice that part.
No, and I'm sure there's probably somebody out there somewhere in the middle of nowhere that does, but that's on them,
It's
not
going to
me.
be the old woman in the cottage in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. It's going to be you.
With my pack of wolves surrounding the property.
You're just going to get to like a section of the forest where everything's just dead and just in a circle. And there's the cottage. Don't go near it, folks.
Don't touch, we'll
No.
bite.
This is not like Hansel and Gretel. You won't come back.
No. So the other one that I was reading about is voodoo.
One of my favorites.
Yes, this one I didn't get so far into because, I ran out of time. But I got the basic background on it. It's...
So voodoo is one of my favorites because a lot of people don't realize that it is not meant for hexes and curses and voodoo dolls on people. That voodoo is actually used as healing.
It is actually, it actually is. It is, the view of it is philosophy, medicine, justice, and religion.
Yep.
The fundamental principles are that everything is spirit.
Yes. With voodoo, a lot of it is expelling the bad things and bringing in the good. Wow. There are words there. That bringing in getting rid of all the negativity and bringing in the good. Now, I know with voodoo, there usually are blood sacrifices to a point, but it's in the name of nature because they know how to, I don't want to say they kill things to bring things back to life, but essentially voodoo believes in karmic
Bloodshed to rebirth,
yes,
kind of.
yeah. I was like, I knew where I wanted to go, but yes, voodoo is karmic, and that's why like a lot of the things that I read and a lot of the magic that I practice does go along with the guidelines of voodoo.
Yeah.
I don't make voodoo dolls and start poking people. No animal sacrifices, but I do focus a lot on like tapping into my psyche. I do a lot of the ritualistic healing. I practice a lot of digging down deep in your soul and getting rid of the negativity stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do.
I like their version of the spirits, kind of, because they have the whole unseen world is populated by, I don't know how, it's IWA, I think, is Iowa. Those are spirits. Mistel or Misty, something like that, is those are the mysteries. I'm not even going to try to say the next one, but the other one is called the Invisibles. And then there's the Zanj. Those are the angels and the spirits of ancestors and recently deceased.
Yes. Voodoo. Oh, from a lot of the books that I have with that pertain to voodoo is in a lot of ritualistic healings and stuff. They call on your ancestors and your recently departed and whatnot to come forth to give you their energy
to heal whatever.
Yeah. Whether it's your psychotic or whether it's not psychotic, oh my God, whether it's mental or physical, or somebody doing harm to you, it all comes back to karmic, and they will pull from your ancestors to bring everything full circle. I like it.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I want to go to New Orleans so bad.
Oh, I want to go there so bad.
You better go before it's underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Orleans is definitely a place I want to visit because I want to experience like the voodoo from somebody who has practiced for generations.
That would be amazing.
Like that would be, and the cathedrals, obviously, because who can't go to New Orleans and see cathedrals and grave sites? But because we're paranormal people. Learning voodoo from somebody, or even just learning what they use naturally from somebody who's practiced for generations would be like something cool to do.
Yeah, it really would.
Road trip.
I have wanted to go there almost my whole life. Maybe someday I'll get there.
Before it's underwater.
Yeah. Well, it's already been underwater.
A lot of the things in voodoo is they use a lot of amulets. Mm-hmm. Charms and amulets. I know a lot of people in New Orleans, you will see amulets in their doorways. People wear amulets as, their daily jewelry. A lot of people down south believe in the power of voodoo, and that you do unto others as they do unto you. And somebody goes rattling off some words and shaking their fist at you, you better pray.
Yeah. Don't take that lightly anywhere in the South.
Mm-mm. I mean, between the Bible Belt and, the people that practice down south, it's very, I mean, you don't make fun of people or mock what they do, because you never know. You can come back with 3 eyes and 8 extra toes. or the sense that somebody's watching you constantly and it drives you crazy. Yeah. Because, I mean, you can push the limits with voodoo before you're crossing a line.
There's a lot more to it than just, if you have somebody shaking their fists and rattling words off to you, not only do you have them, but you have their ancestors and their ancestors and their ancestors all coming after you. Right.
And, voodoo isn't just black or white. It's a combination of both. And I think I relate to voodoo so much because that's what I practice. When I started reading the books and, let's try this kind of thing, I was always pushing the limit. And now, I do the thing where I communicate. Mm-hmm. I do it safely because I know how. I know what I'm doing. I know when to not push the boundary. Mm-hmm. But crossing that line just a little bit into the black magic is, as long as you know what you're doing, is something that I get excited about.
Well, yeah.
And I'm not saying that everybody should push the limit. I mean, I've been practicing since I was 14 when my mom just thought it was something fun I was doing in my room.
And just because it's called black magic
does not make it bad. It's just
a different form.
Yeah, because opening up the communication to the spirit world, which I do in some of our investigations, I'm grounded. I have people. I do not ever do them. I did it once for myself. Well, not
learned her lesson.
Yeah, won't do that again. But I'm grounded. I know what I'm doing when I open that channel, and I set boundaries right away. It's not just, we're going to talk to anybody willy-nilly. It's no. Either if you have bad intentions, we don't talk. Right. If you want to tell me something, or if you want me to see you, that's fine. But the second that there are negative intentions, you're done. Yeah. I close off communication and we're gone.
And there's no, you may not enter, you may not. No.
Right. Nope. There's nothing like that. And I think with the voodoo religion, where people, people have said that they have seen things during, or when, they have priests and priestesses, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm, that have said that they have seen things from people that they have pulled things from. You know, there have been shadows, there have been demonic like people that have changed languages and their eyes change and things like that.
I've seen that firsthand. When you see somebody's eyes change and their facial features start to morph, and that's a little creepy.
It is.
There's no other word for it.
Right.
It's a little creepy.
And when you're pushing those boundaries of, you know, good versus evil, well, you just don't know what kind of door you're going to be knocking on.
No, I was just looking here. It's kind of to make it more mainstream. They actually do speak of God as in the Christian Bible, where he is the creator of the universe, just like the Santeria does too. He also created the spirits to help govern humanity and the natural world. And their primary goal is to serve the spirits, which is called Savagely. I don't know how to say it, but that's how it's spelled. To offer prayers and perform various rituals and rites to serve the spirits.
Yeah. You can't just push onto people about heaven and hell, or God, or Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him. You can't just push that on everybody. And I like the fact that you have other religions that aren't just, yes, they, you know, they preach about God and things like that. But you can't just, this is how it's going to be. The fact that you have those other options and expressing that there is something beyond God and Satan and angels, that there are other spirits and things out there is why I like exploring these other religions.
Oh, most definitely. And I like these two in particular because there is more to it than just God.
Right.
There are, for the spirits are there for you. You were there to help each other get through day to day. Not only that, you're also working with nature to help nature, because you help nature, nature's going to help you. Right. It's all a give and take. It's not just you serve. And
you get those people who are like, oh, trees, you're tree huggers. No.
Yeah.
I believe in nature. Don't piss off Mother Nature, because, you know, that's how it comes back tenfold. And I think a lot of people don't understand that with other religions, you can still preach about God. But it's not just about him. Where did religion come from?
Yeah.
What was there before there was Jesus? Did people just, you know, walk around and this is how it's going to be today? Who are you? I don't believe in all of that. I believe in Mother Nature and karmic, what's going on. You know, you poke a bear with a stick, bear eats you. Well, that's your own stupidity. Right. Don't poke the bear.
But I'm sorry, every time you say voodoo, I have the song in my head. Godsmack.
Oh my God.
That's all that's going through my head every time you say voodoo.
I can't with you. That song plays every time I get in my car.
It's on all the time.
It is. But it's a good song.
It is. It's a good song.
All right, guys. I think we're going to call it a night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.